Hi, Melinda here from Mindy's Craft Shack. Today I'm going to be showing you how I did this Damask heart split tumbler. This design is from Lovely Lulu Designs. If any of you have seen her stuff, this might look a little bit familiar to you. I did get this Damask design from her Etsy shop. So if you're looking for a good Damask design, head over there, Lovely Lulu Designs on Etsy, and they're really affordable. So let me go ahead and let you know what you're going to need. You're going to need a 30-ounce skinny tumbler. This design fits a 30-ounce. You're going to need vinyl, your fine glitter, and I did use chunky glitter down here. Now on this one, I don't know if you can see, but there's some heart-shaped chunky glitter in there also. I kind of wanted something that went with the hearts. And then you're going to need some mica powder and of course your epoxy. Once you have all that together, you can get started. So let's go have some fun. So I'm going to start by measuring my prepared 30-ounce skinny tumbler. I'm going down about 6.5 inches from the top, and that is where I'm going to make my mark. Next, I'm using the shaker bottle to assist in being able to draw a straight line around the tumbler. It's perfect for this because the height, with the lid off, is level with the mark I made. Once that line is made, I'm taking 1.5 inch painter's tape and placing it under that line going around the tumbler. Once we're done placing this tape, I'm going to go ahead and spray paint the top half of this pink. Once I'm done spray painting, I can remove that tape. After you let that paint dry, you're going to take another strip of painter's tape and place it around the top part of that line. Now let this paint dry for about 30 minutes. One thing you want to keep in mind when laying this tape, you want it to lie flat against the tumbler. Here you see that it didn't do that, so I just take my X-Acto knife and make a little slit so I can lay it down flat. Now that I have the tape down, I want to cover the pink part of the tumbler with saran wrap. This is going to protect it when I go to spray paint it black on the bottom. Ah, perfect line. So 30 minutes has passed, and I'm taping off the black part of the tumbler, exposing all of the pink. So I can add a thin layer of epoxy and then sprinkle it with pink glitter. Now remember, I use the Alumilite Epoxy, so it's a 1:1 ratio. Once I have the glitter on, I'm going to go ahead and pull that tape. Then I'm going to let it dry for 6 hours. After that, I'll go ahead and spray it with clear coat and let it dry for 30 minutes. Now it's time for the flood coat. So I'm just doing the top part of the tumbler at this point, making sure I get all that glitter covered. Then I'll move down to the black part. For this step, I mixed about 40 mils of epoxy. My goal is to not get any of that pink glitter on the bottom part of the tumbler. Now for the bottom, I'm going to take the remainder of the epoxy and split it 3 ways. Then add a pinch of mica powder to each one. The mica colors I'm using are light pink, magenta, and pearl white. Once they are mixed, I just dip my finger in them and streak them on the black part of the cup. Don't forget the bottom. If you see spots that are too thick, take a popsicle stick and run it through your streaks. I do this diagonally. When it's to your liking, sprinkle some chunky glitter around the bottom. Now this step is totally optional. Then take your heat torch and pop those micro bubbles and let it dry for 12 hours. The next step is to measure down 5 inches from the top and make a mark and repeat drawing the line around the tumbler. I'm using a dry erase pen. This should leave about 1.5 inches of space between the line and the black part of the tumbler. Once your line is made, take your painter's tape and tape above the line you just made. Then tape below where the pink and black meet. Then it's time to add your chunky glitter. Don't forget to press that glitter down, making it as flat as possible. Here I'm using a silicone fingertip that I got at the Dollar Tree. Then remove the tape and let it dry for 6 hours. Then spray with clear coat and let it dry for another 30 minutes. To put the Damask stencil on, I use the lid to find the middle of the tumbler. Make a small mark on the front and then the back also. Then take a cloth measuring tape and measure from line to line and make another mark at the halfway point. Then do the same on the opposite side. Use those marks as the guide to place the stencil, lining up the middle of the stencil to the mark. With the first 2 stencils, I try to use the transfer tape like a puzzle to get the spacing correct. Because I want the stencil to be even all the way around, I'm measuring from the top of the tumbler to the top of the middle stencil. This way I can use that measurement on the other side. the stencils are on, I'm wrapping the bottom again and taping it because I'm going to spray paint over those stencils. When I'm taping, I'm trying to keep the tape off the stencil. Here I am pulling up the stencil. The tumbler is almost done, just adding the epoxy, and then I will sand and clean before I add the pinstripes and my name. Now there are two sets of pinstripes here. One is a thick and one is a thin. The thick strip is 10 inches by 0.25. Then the thin strip is 10 inches by 0.19. Now I am wearing gloves for this part because I don't want the oils from my hands to make that vinyl non-sticky. After putting the pinstripes and my name on this, I ended up putting 2 more coats of epoxy on this tumbler. Here's a final look of this tumbler. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to like, subscribe, ring that bell for notifications of new videos, and while you're clicking away, go ahead and share my channel. Also, leave a comment below with any questions and I'll be sure to get back to you. Bye!